Hi everyone, my name is Shannon. I'm a physical therapist that works with people that often have balance or mobility impairments or issues. One of the things I wanted to bring to attention today is the importance of activity and walking. With the pandemic that we're all going through right now, there's a lot of gyms that are closed, a lot of activity centers, community centers that have had to cancel some of their programming, and we've also, at least here in Pittsburgh, have been experiencing a lot of hot, humid weather, which makes it difficult to go and spend a lot of time outside. We're also heading into winter, which also here in Pittsburgh means icy roads, icy sidewalks, difficulty with snow and cold, and so it often makes it difficult to do something outside. What I often see at work is that as we head into the winter, people become stuck inside and are less active. There's a lot of balance and mobility issues that are evident once spring comes because we don't realize how much that decline in mobility has an impact on us over time. So what I wanted to do today was develop a walking video that you can do from home. It'll be short and it's adjustable to your own needs, but it's available from our website here on Life in Motion to be able to follow along at home. So I'm just in my living room, and what I'm going to have you do is just start walking in place. So there's a lot of benefits to being upright and walking. We can get comfortable sitting in front of the television and watching something and just moving around to get lunch, to go to the restroom, maybe to clean or tidy something up. But other than that, that doesn't give us a lot of steps throughout the day. So it's good to make a point to be up and moving. What this does is work on my balance a little bit. The more I'm up and standing, I'm not holding on to anything, my balance is being challenged. I'm also getting my heart pumping, which is good for heart health. I'm breathing differently standing than I would be when I'm sitting in my chair. And I'm also using different muscles because I'm not being supported by my seat. If you do have balance issues, I've brought along a chair, for example. You are welcome to hold on to a chair for balance or onto, I have the TV table here. There's a couple different options you could hold on to for balance. So as we walk together today, do whatever is safest for you. If you need to hold on, go right ahead. And maybe as time goes on, you could feel comfortable letting go with one hand or doing a couple steps without holding on. But it's entirely based on safety. And the main purpose of this video is just to get some more steps in when we're stuck inside. So to change it up a little bit here, we're going to work on some high steps. This works on a couple different muscles than just regular stepping. It gives us something different to do to let the other muscles rest a little bit and to challenge a different muscle group. I have my handy dandy chair right here because whenever we lift one knee up, we're spending more time on one foot, which is more challenging for our balance. So feel free to hold on as you do the high knee stepping. One of the other options is to use the chair and sit in it. I'll demonstrate that here. Keep going, high knees. If balance is not good and you feel too unsafe to do any of the walking stuff at home, either because you're by yourself or you're afraid you're going to fall, you can definitely do these sitting. We lose some of the benefits of standing, which is using some of those glute muscles, which we use when we're up and standing. But sitting is a very valid option if standing isn't safe. What I'd rather have is activity happening, having your heart rate pumping, get yourself moving, rather than nothing. And then maybe you can look to find us on a future video for some seated exercises to make sure we address those glute muscles, which are so important for getting up out of the chair, getting up off of the commode, things that we do in our day-to-day lives. But sitting is still a valid option for getting your heart rate up, getting some steps in. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our just comfortable stepping. Give those front muscles a little break since we just did some of that high stepping. Now your pace does not have to match mine. I don't know if you can see my rhythm here, but this is what's comfortable for me when I'm doing my walking at home. Yours could be faster, it could be slower. The ultimate goal here is to just get up and be moving, and by following this video, being accountable to doing something, because often throughout our day, if we just say, oh, I'll walk more, that's not really measurable, and it's not a specific thing, which makes it hard to put into action. So if you say, I'm going to do the walking video, then it's something specific. You can say, yes, I did do it, and we've added more steps to your day. So we're just doing our regular walking here. Feel free to take a break if you feel tired. If you notice that your balance declines as you fatigue, that's not uncommon. Switch to the seated version or the holding on version, or take a little break. You can always pause this or let it run and resume once you feel rested. And over time, you can gradually work yourself up to feeling strong enough to do more at one time. Now in your homes, we're going to change it up if you feel comfortable and try some backward steps if you feel safe. I'm just doing a short distance here, but you can go farther. When we go backwards, we use some more of these back muscles. And it just changes the challenge up a little bit by going backwards. Don't feel you have to turn as often as I am. I'm doing this to stay within the screen. But as far as you have space, try going backwards. If you don't feel safe with that, you can continue with the forward marching or holding on to the chair. You can always do some backward steps, forward steps, backward step, forward step. It just engages the muscles in a different manner so that we're using some of that posterior musculature a little bit differently. So back, forward. You can even take a big step back, big step forward, big step back. Same thing here. This is engaging the posterior muscles a little bit differently than if we're just taking little steps. We have our handy chair in front of us to provide some support, because this may be more challenging on your balance. I've been stepping back and forward with just the right leg. So let's switch and do the left. Because the muscle that's leading, or the leg that's leading, is doing a little bit different work than, say, the one that's following. Again, the speed is dependent on what you're comfortable with. You can always pause to move your support surface or go much slower. Maybe even count how many you can do. Maybe you do 3 of these and need a break. And next time you aim to do 4. The goal is to just challenge your body because it responds well to challenge. And that's how we keep it healthy. And a lot of this activity leads to the things that we want to be able to do in our day-to-day lives, such as have enough energy to walk around the grocery store, maybe go visit with friends, if you can do that from a socially distanced standpoint. Maybe it means you can get up out of the chair by yourself and walk around the house. We all have different goals, but the more time we spend sitting, the better we get at sitting, and we lose the skill set to be good at walking, moving, getting up, and being active. So we want to maintain that. Okay, we're going to switch from just some forward stepping here. And my heart rate's already 120. So that definitely shows that just doing some walking in place gets some good challenge to that cardiovascular system. All right, we're going to change the direction again. And I want you to practice moving sideways. This works, again, a different muscle group. The muscles in the sides of our legs are often the weakest. They're stabilizing muscles. So in order to take a step, these muscles on the side have to be strong enough to provide stability so that we can take a step. Whenever we take a step, this muscle on the side here holds our hips and our pelvis and our trunk in line so that we can take a step with the other leg. So it's good to make sure that those muscles are strong and activated, and it's not something we often do throughout our day, but if they've gotten a little weak, deconditioned, or tired, it might be something that we need to do to make sure that they stay strong and healthy. So we're just going to do, same thing, if you've got more space than me, I'm just taking 3 steps here. You can go further before you switch and go the other direction. I'm just trying to stay within the camera window here for you. We can add the chair. If it's too hard to balance, you can just take 1 step either direction, and we're going to do side to side with the support of the chair. You might even be able to take a slightly larger step here because you have your support on the chair, your arms supporting you on the chair. So we'll work on that larger step. And if you don't have your chair at home and you feel safe from a balance standpoint, you can move to a bigger step here. The bigger step engages the muscles a little bit differently. And you can see I'm kind of lifting. So we're continuing with that side to side motion with big steps. Again, you can do slow or faster. Whatever provides enough of a challenge to you that you're doing something that you normally wouldn't do during the day. You can even add in some planned timed walks throughout the day. So if you use a cane or a walker and you think, okay, after breakfast, after lunch, and after dinner, I'm going to do an extra walk with my cane. I'm going to go from the living room to the kitchen, through the dining room and back. Maybe that's enough of a challenge for you. And you take a break and you do it those 3 times a day, and you can work up from there. We're going to go back just to the walking again, in place, facing forward. Maybe you're already walking 10 minutes a day, but you're limited by the weather or the snow or having a ride, or maybe the gym's closed. Finding a place that is safe to do those things kind of all year round is beneficial. I know some of the malls are open for walking. With the pandemic, I don't know what the environment is around you, but if they allow walking socially distant with a mask, you might be able to do that inside. So be creative thinking about what options are available to you when it comes to just getting some extra steps in. It could be that outside on your street is really well maintained and you feel comfortable doing that. Maybe having access to indoor equipment like a bike or something like that is safe and manageable for you. But it's good to be creative and see what you can do with what you have, especially in a situation like this, because it's so imperative to maintain our long-term independence and mobility. We just have to do our due diligence to stay active, because those muscles that we use for walking don't get used when we're sitting. And in order for them to maintain their strength, their endurance, their flexibility, we have to use them in order for that to maintain or remain as we age, as we go through seasons of bad weather or seasons of quarantine, which hopefully this is the last one we have to experience in this lifetime. But there's a lot of things out there that make activity and mobility difficult. So just even thinking about breaking off pieces that are manageable throughout the day, a couple short walks inside the house, a couple walks outside, whatever is just a little bit more than what you were doing adds enough challenge to the body that you can see some improvements. If you're already feeling like things have declined a little bit, if you're happy with your level of activity, this just might be a different way to get it by doing an indoor walking. We're going to do some kicks here. Trying to kick your backside. We're just working those hamstrings a little bit. This is similar to stepping, but we're focusing on that backward kick while we step side to side here. All right, you can also hold on to your balance support. Pardon the fact that I don't have shoes on. I'm in my living room. I don't usually wear shoes in the house. So I am doing my exercise program barefoot today. Wear shoes if you feel like the support would be beneficial for you. I know some people that feel more comfortable without shoes on for some of their exercises because they get more sensation through their feet. You just have to be careful. If you're diabetic, you want to make sure you have your shoes on so that you don't step on anything and end up with, a wound or some sort of injury on the foot. But often shoes provide that stability and support and a little bit of added extra weight too if you're looking to make a new challenge here. Speaking of that, that's something you can add. We'll do some videos for strength on here as well, but you're welcome to add some ankle weights, the wraparound ones. They make a variety of different kinds. You can do just purchase like a 1, 2, or 3 pound ankle weight. They also make ones that are adjustable, that have little lead inserts in them that go up to, I think, 5 pounds or so. So maybe as you get stronger, you could add one in. But if you've done this video and it feels easy for you, you can always add a weight on your ankles to add an extra challenge. All right. Let's do a couple high knees since we did a lot of work on the hamstrings there. Something else to be aware of with the hamstrings is you can get a cramp when you activate those muscles a lot. So if that started cramping on you, you can always stop and do a different move, just some of the walking in place again. Again, with all of these, the goal is to walk at a pace that is manageable for you. Feels like you're giving yourself a little challenge, but nothing that's too much. All right, we're gonna wrap it up with just walking in place today. I hope you enjoyed our inside walking tour of my living room. I hope it gives you another option for staying active, fit, independent, and mobile as we make our way through quarantine, the hot, humid days of summer, and heading into the icy, snowy days of winter. Okay, good. All right. Feels good? I feel it in the legs. You can always do some stretching when you're done, or sit and relax. Again, never push yourself to a point where you feel discomfort. There's always a recommendation to speak to your doctor before starting a new exercise program. And taking in enough fluids, being safe from a balance standpoint. So think about all those things when you start our walking program. But thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you down the road. Thank you.